brunch? Oh, well, so about that, I was actually going to say happy brunch to Phoenix, Arizona, specifically. Welcome to the Brunch of Idiots podcast, everyone. I'm joined here today with Aiden.
Hello.
Aiden.
Hello.
Jake.
Hello, everybody.
And Riley.
Hi.
Today, today, I thought we would discuss something that might be pretty interesting. We're going to be talking about weird laws around the world. So, like, really strange things they wouldn't expect to be illegal, but are. And one of these particularly caught my eye, which is why I had said Phoenix. Apparently, in Arizona, it's illegal to let your donkey sleep in the bathtub.
Specifically
Let
the bathtub,
baby
though.
get some rest in a cold place. It's hot over there.
So apparently this law came into effect because there was a guy who let his donkey sleep in like an abandoned tub, like somewhere on his property, and a dam broke and washed the donkey away, and the town had to spend so many resources getting this donkey rescued that they decided to just ban it altogether because it was such a problem for them.
Wow.
Goodness.
That's crazy. Like, imagine the town you live in is just like they finally find this thing after like hours or like a day after this dam breaks, and they're like, okay, we gotta get this thing out of wherever it is. How are we gonna do it? And everyone's like, I'm gonna go get a winch. They go try to winch this thing out, and it doesn't work. And they're just there for another like few hours, and everyone's like, nobody wants to do this again. This city in Arizona will remember that.
Yup.
Like,
That's so funny.
Way to go, Arizona.
I'd like to imagine you visit this town in Arizona and there's just like a sign. You know how they have like the yellow signs with like the no symbol around something, but it's just like a donkey in a bathtub.
No donkey bathtub. Thank you.
Beautiful.
gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Arizona and put a donkey in a bathtub now.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, yes.
Y'all got any weird laws you want to talk about?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Go for it.
This is specifically in the UK. Better handle your salmon lightly and carefully because Section 32 of the Salmon Act 1986 stipulates that it's an offense to handle salmon under suspicious circumstances.
Suspicious?
It's very open-ended. Essentially, the law says that it's illegal to obtain or dispose of salmon under circumstances that may be viewed by others as suspicious.
How could you litigate that? Like,
I don't
sorry,
know.
bro,
I'm
you
wondering
love
if the-
sauce.
What insane people were like, they're smuggling the drugs and the salmon? What if
telling
they
me-
were, though?
If I'm slunking around town with my salmon and someone decides to call the police on me, I'll get arrested?
Okay, I just
Possibly.
want to know under what
The maximum penalty
circumstances-
is 2 years imprisonment?
I'm
what
sorry,
are people
what?
doing with their salmon?
What are they doing?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's got to be fishy.
It's just getting, just going into a British prison and they're like, what are you in for? I was being suspicious with my salmon. Huh? It's a bit tricky now, ain't it, go?
Okay, but imagine. Okay, before that, right? You know how like the the person like has to pick out who the culprit was, right? So like imagine like
Lineups, yeah.
yeah, you have like a lineup of people, and they're all, and like the people that are innocent are like, why are we all here? And somebody's like, one of you was being suspicious with salmon.
They're each issued a salmon that they're supposed to stand there and act suspicious with
It's
in their
like,
lineup.
yes, officer, it was that one. They were the one.
The provision was aimed at reducing salmon poaching by making the handling of poached salmon a criminal offense.
Oh.
That's
But
that's I don't believe that. That's just so open-ended.
the language there is so vague that I don't see how it would be possible to properly litigate that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Huh.
Wild.
Nutty.
Yeah, that is a very strange one.
So, yeah.
Riley, Jay, you got any weird laws?
Yeah, actually. Apparently, in Germany, it is illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn. Which, this one makes a
That's
little bit
fair.
more sense.
Yeah.
That one does make sense. It sounds weird, but if you know anything about the Autobahn, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it would be
For those that
just
don't know, what is the Autobahn?
The Autobahn is
new.
a highway in Germany. I don't think it's specifically it goes through a couple other countries as well, right? I think.
I think so.
But parts of the Autobahn have no speed limit. Is what it's most famous for. So you have people going 100 like over 100 miles an hour just on the highway, and this is regular.
Goodness. Imagine running out
So
of gas on that place.
yeah.
Goodness.
Google just says the Autobahn just goes through Germany. It
Germany.
doesn't mention anything about other countries.
That's
Okay.
The
I mean,
German
most Texans
superhighway.
treat their highways like the Autobahn anyway, so.
This is true. That said, with the way the traffic is around here, unless you're like in between rush hours, like in between like the
Traffic
morning
time.
and noon, or in between noon and like evening.
You
Hey,
should
they know you're
see-
from Texas now. Run!
You should see the freeway
Oh.
that leads to Oklahoma on weekends because people will be coming in and out of the casinos like at like
Oh.
1 o'clock in the morning, and they
I'm not gonna
book
say
it.
that.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Goodness.
I have one. And it's very interesting. In the 1940s, apparently, the Criminal Code of Canada prohibited the printing, publishing, or distribution of comic books that depicted crime.
Oh, so most of comic books.
Yes. It was supposedly enacted to quote unquote protect children from the potentially harmful influence of crime fighting heroes. Which
Oh my goodness, this is a video games cause of violence law.
humans
Oh my
never
gosh.
change.
This
Oh,
just
you're
in.
so right,
Canada
though.
bans crime because it has a negative effect on children. No
No,
more
like-
crime in
Ooh.
Canada.
No,
We
This-
know
crime.
you've been doing crime, little Timmy.
No. Crime.
This law
my
was
favorite
repealed
drug.
in the 1970s, so
Oh.
it was a
Okay.
short-lived one. But
It's
the
one of
fact
those
that
that
it even
it happened.
existed
Yeah.
is kind of funny to me, especially considering how Canada's relationship with the Geneva Convention is. Like, the whole, ooh, we must protect children from potentially seeing crime fighters fight crimes. Ooh.
We don't
Oh,
fight crime, we just pretend like it doesn't happen.
Yes. That's
That is very
there
funny.
is no crime in Canada.
funny. There is no war in Bossing Say.
Julie, no.
Not Julie.
That kind of reminds me of this one. So I'm looking through like a list, and it's pretty funny. But there's one based out of Singapore. So back in the early '90s, they banned chewing gum, and it was implemented as part of an effort to basically keep the streets clean. You know, because how people will just spit their gum everywhere, or stick it to benches or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was made to help maintain like public cleanliness, I guess. And so the sale and production of chewing gum was made illegal. So you couldn't have it shipped in, you couldn't produce it, you couldn't sell it. And apparently owning, like possessing chewing gum and chewing gum, like actually chewing it, is not illegal inherently. It's just like the trade of gum is illegal.
What?
That's such a weird
Interesting.
way to do that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of true about anything, really. I mean,
If you can get your hands on it, it's fair game, but good luck getting your hands on it. Keep your grubby mitts off my gum, peasant.
The police start charging. You make the transaction. You put the gum in your pocket. The police are like, ah, darn it.
It's putting the gum as in your pocket is like walking into your house in GTA.
I touched safe. I touched safe.
Oh no.
according to Google, though, apparently if you're traveling to Singapore, you can actually bring a small amount of gum with you for personal use. You're just not
I've-
allowed to distribute it.
I've
What is
brought the
with
legal
their
amount of
hate
gum
crime
with me.
against gum?
Why does it sound like gum is a drug? It's for medical use.
I mean,
Like-
I can understand. I think it's a little extreme, but like also, it's people we're talking about. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a public bathroom before, but people are not capable of thinking about others.
You know what? That's fair. Cause in where was it? I saw also in Singapore. There is a fine if you don't if you're caught not flushing your toilet in Singapore, like a public toilet in Singapore.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I like that.
Yeah,
So
that's actually that's a decent law.
I will
so
say,
like that one makes sense.
I feel like that's one of those laws that's like, we don't have to say this. Why do we have to say this?
well, but that's the thing about so many of these like obscene laws is that like they were made for a reason because there was a need for them, and some of these just really, really boggle my mind.
Speaking of necessary laws,
Oh,
are you ready
no.
for this one?
No,
That's
but
in
go ahead.
Milan, Italy.
Okay.
It was prescribed as a city regulation from Austro-Hungarian times, and it was never repealed. Who's ready?
Let's go.
Oh boy.
It is illegal in Milan, Italy, to frown, with the exception of funeral goers, hospital workers, and those at the bedside of an ill family member. Also, sorry about the dog noises.
That was fine. Dogs happen.
Dog.
Hopefully that worked. But yeah. You are supposed to smile. It is actually a legal requirement to smile.
Now that sounds like some bossing say stuff.
I was literally just about to say.
And
Oh no.
where did you say that was from? Italy?
Yeah.
Milan, Italy.
Wow.
Specifically that town.
That's it's actually kind of depressing.
Well, it was Austro-Hungarian times, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I got some funny ones here. I don't know the legitimacy of these because they don't have sources listed. But these are all actually, I'm just going to tell you these laws and we're going to play a little game. We're going to have each of you guess
What
where you
country?
think these laws are from. Okay? They're all
Oh.
from the
Oh,
same place,
yes,
the ones
yes,
I'm about
yes.
to list.
Beautiful. Okay.
I should have been doing
Ready.
this from the beginning. That would have been so much more funny.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You may not wear blue jeans down a specific street. Bear wrestling matches are prohibited. Dominoes may not be played on Sunday. It is illegal for a driver to wear or to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle. It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church, specifically. It is illegal to drive the wrong way down a one-way street if you have a lantern attached to the front of your automobile. It is considered an offense to open an umbrella on a street for fear of it spooking horses. You cannot chain your alligator to a fire hydrant. You may not drive barefooted. And you may not have an ice cream cone in your back pocket at any time. Now,
Are these
where do
all
y'all
from the
think these
same
laws are from?
places?
They're all from the same place,
Florida.
generally speaking. It is not Florida.
Nebraska.
It is not Nebraska.
No, not Nebraska, Nevada. I'm so sorry.
Not that either.
Okay.
See, I was gonna say like Sweden instead. Until you said alligator. Is it Georgia?
It is not Georgia, but you're on the right track. It is Alabama.
Alabama.
Alabama. That
Yeah.
is a wild place, just in general. Alabama kind of scares me.
I don't think Alabama is real. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you
Like
live in
Alabama does
Alabama,
not seal.
you don't exist.
But like
This just in.
a lot of these are the ones that where I was saying like it's weird to think that they had to have a reason to make these because they're so incredibly specific.
Yes. Yes.
It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. Why?
That sounds like some
That
like
sounds like
early American like law.
That sounds like somebody
it does.
accidentally shaved their mustache off wrong. Right? So they had to start over. But they didn't want to go to church facial hairless. So they got a
Facially
fake
naked.
mustache. And things went horribly awry. That's my headcanon for that.
I feel like that's
Yeah.
gotta be the only.
Tom Sawyer. No, just straight up Tom Sawyer.
No,
Mark
that's
Twain didn't write a fiction; it was a biography.
It was a.
It was a story about an actual lad in Alabama.
I just want to know what drunken idiocy caused somebody to drive the wrong way down a one-way street with the, and specifically with the lantern.
That's the part about that gets me too, right? Because you're thinking, oh, wrong way down a one-way street, like that'll cause problems to begin with. Why they had to specify not with a lantern is beyond me. I have no
I'm
idea why that.
thinking it must be like an early automobile law, and it must have been either in the fog or at night.
Yeah,
And
that would make sense.
I guess it would cause it to blind people.
Yeah,
I mean, they
so
don't really
then,
call them automobiles anymore.
Automobile.
That is true. We just call them cars. Cars 2,
Vehicles.
Cars 3, planes.
Vehicles, motor vehicles.
I want to say vehicles 1, vehicles 2, vehicles 3. Because it's not just about cars. They have airplanes.
Well, that's where
Vehicles for
planes comes
400.
in.
Yeah, but like
And planes too.
it feels like racial segregation and it bothers me a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
This just in.
Automobiles.
Are the movie
Aircraft.
Cars and Planes race?
Oh my gosh. Debate it in
mean,
the
a
comments
little
down
bit.
below.
True. Oh,
I don't
wow.
even know if that's a good word to use on a podcast.
You know, fine.
Editor, blank out my word.
I feel like bleeping out the word would make it worse.
Make it really funny though.
It's up for the fans to decide what did Aiden say.
Oh,
We should
no.
have an episode just dedicated to unnecessary censorship.
Yes,
That'd be
that would be
hilarious.
so funny.
Oh no.
I'll find all the slapstick comedy sounds that are free of copyright, and
The slipping on a banana peel noise has to be one of them.
we'll find
Lord.
out. I have a law that it'd be fun for y'all to guess.
Oh yes,
For it.
please.
Okay, so it's guess the country. This law requires that you let anyone use your personal toilet if they ask.
My first instinct is Canada.
All right?
India.
It's not Canada, and it's not India. Just to let you know, it's technically still enforceable today.
Oh,
That's funny.
I'm gonna say Japan, mostly for fun.
You would be wrong, and on the wrong part of the world.
Ah.
Behold, it is Scotland.
Really?
By law, they cannot deny you. It's an old Scottish common law regarding hospitality.
If you have to litigate hospitality, there's something wrong.
I'm gonna go.
I mean,
Specifically with your
Scotland.
litigators.
Scotland. Sorry.
That sounds like a
Everybody.
very English oppression thing to do. Like we have to teach these Scottish brutes how to be properly behaved.
I'm fairly certain this, when it says old Scottish common law, I imagine it's from the Scots.
But
It could have been rooted in, like, you know how in their games there are clans that will not stand or sit next to each other,
yeah,
even to this day?
yeah.
It could be one of those things where it's like just, I don't know, a bunch of clan mothers were like, oh, come on.
well, so Scotland became a part of the UK in 1707. So if the law is older than that, then
Let's see. Scottish toilet law. When Scottish toilet law pass. I don't need location for this.
Oh boy.
me when
Who
there's
would
the
like-
shopping tab,
We would like to verify your location.
Google would like to know your location.
No, Google, I'm not in Scotland.
Google is dispatching officers to your location.
Google, no!
You won't take my comics.
You won't take my comics. It's not the 1940s. It is in the UK though, because they.
I
Just about
actually can't
banned.
find it.
That's
Well-
so funny.
If you're from Scotland, let us know.
Let us know, please.
We would love to know about your toilet laws.
Oh. Oh no.
Riley, Jay, y'all
Uh.
got any other
I'll
Neither
let
laws.
Riley go if she has something, because I feel
I
like we
have a
skipped her.
no. I had one.
Hi.
I don't remember what it was, but I have another one.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Uh, so in Zimbabwe, there is a law known as the Witchcraft Suppression Act, which makes it illegal to practice witchcraft or claim to have magical powers. Maximum sentence is imprisonment for up to 7 years.
Up to 7.
Yep.
Holy moly.
7 years for witchcraft does seem like, if you think about it, potentially fitting, given that 7 is
Mean a lot. And
considered a holy number.
yeah. I think it's mostly due to the fact that it's Zimbabwe as a whole is kind of considered a more superstitious cultural, existence. So that makes sense. But that's really funny because, like, where we live, where my parents live, there's like a coven that advertises itself just right down the road. So, it's like, well, man, cultural differences, wacky.
Well,
You know-
the imprisonment's a step up from death.
That is true. Given
Good job,
the Salem
Salem.
witch
You're
trials.
growing.
I
Oh no. I would think that like superstition and like the supernatural would kind of go hand in hand, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Is if there's somebody, it's almost like, I guess, in my head, right? The reason this is such a big deal is if you are supernatural and there is somebody who claims to have some sort of power over the supernatural, um that would be the equivalent of Todd next door waving around an AK-47 when you know he didn't pass a background check for that. In my head,
You
that
must
would
pass
be
the
the
background
equivalent.
check.
No witchcraft without your license.
Go back to Hogwarts, you.
Back to Hogwarts. Oh yeah, you think you can make it through platform 9 3/4? Prove it.
Runs into wall.
Exactly.
Uh,
Oh man. Moving on to Australia.
mm,
So this one isn't technically, it's not policed, it's not enforced. However, it is still technically like written down. You are not allowed to wear brightly colored clothes around midday on the Sabbath. on
no brightly colored clothes
out.
at noon on Saturday.
Yeah.
Darn. I can't live there.
Oh, I'm safe.
RJ's good. Depends on the day for me. Jay's
Depends on the
good.
day for me.
Okay, yeah.
I'm toast. I'm
And
cooked.
Aiden's just toast.
Riley, have you forgotten about my famous
Oh my goodness, what is that?
eye-deafening orange shirt?
I actively try.
I will not let you, because that was one of my favorite shirts for the longest.
Yeah.
That's a very oddly specific one too. I feel like
I-
a lot of these come from like local churches being annoyed.
I
That
do have another one for y'all to guess.
Go for it.
You will be fined up to $200 um, for annoying people with a musical instrument.
My next door neighbor.
Find $200 for annoying someone with a musical instrument?
Yeah.
That's very specific.
That sounds
Mm,
European again.
gonna
It
say
does.
Louisiana.
It's not Louisiana.
I'm gonna say
Is it a state or a
France.
country?
It's a country. It's not
Oh.
France.
Okay. I'll go Germany.
I'm gonna put Winnie in my room.
You gotta find Winnie.
Be right back.
Okay.
Find my
Hold,
dog
please.
$200 for annoying me.
Your dog is a noisy instrument.
She's adorable, though. I love her. I'd bail her out of my own fine against her.
My own fine. What was the point of having a fine if you're gonna bail her out?
Boris.
Uh,
There we go. Hello, fluffy boy. I'd bail you out too, Boris. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Okay. Alright. I have subdued the sound.
Riley, you can guess another country since you guessed a state.
I'm gonna go with Ethiopia. Mostly for fun.
Believe it or not, it is in Australia. That's
again. Okay.
Wow.
what I
Double
thought
back.
was really funny. It's the Northern Territory.
It specified it annoying a person. So I would imagine that's like an intentional act, not like someone being annoyed by a musical instrument, but like you actively annoying them.
There's that, and it also seems like it's designed for buskers as well.
Yeah, because
Pesky
busking
buskers.
is big in Australia.
Okay, I got one. So this one is a state. It is illegal for people to play Scrabble while waiting for a politician to speak.
Oh man. My guess. Are we guessing?
Yep.
My guess has got to be Nebraska.
It is not Nebraska.
Is it? Is it Pennsylvania?
No.
Ohio.
That does sound very Ohio, but it is actually Connecticut.
Ah.
I forgot Connecticut was a state.
Another interesting law from Connecticut is that a pickle is not officially a pickle unless it bounces.
Who's out here flinging pickles?
Please do
Everyone.
not phrase it like that.
People who make pickles have to test if their pickles bounce because otherwise they are not legally pickles.
Oh no.
Those darn pickle dealers
Somebody's
double-crossed
over
me.
here going Kobe with a pickle.
Now, I imagined a very serious, like, everyone's wearing suits. They open up the briefcase and it's full of pickles. The one guy, he, like, looks at it, he smells it, he does the bounce test. That's just very serious, right? And then it bounces, he nods. Another suitcase comes forward, full of cash. Transaction was made.
You got the stuff? Opens briefcase. Is pickles.
And like the next town over, a very similar
they real?
interaction is going down, and the pickle doesn't bounce, and like the cops show up.
Pickles.
The shootout happens because it's not a real pickle.
No, but see, the bigger operation is getting all the pickles that didn't pass the test and shipping them out of the state. You have to smuggle the pickles out of the state so you can sell them somewhere else because anywhere else they're considered pickles.
If it's pickled, it's a pickle. Connecticut.
There's a pickle smuggling operation out of Connecticut. If you live in Connecticut,
Oh no.
tell me, do your pickles bounce?
Another fun one. Specifically in Devon, Connecticut, it is unlawful to walk backwards after sunset.
Why
That
after
has to be
sunset?
some sort of like. That has to have come from like the Satanic Panic or something like that.
My guess is that someone was like walking backwards and wasn't paying attention where they were going and like fell into a construction zone or something.
I could see that.
Let's see. What other fun ones we got here?
I got one to guess where it is.
Okay.
It is illegal in this country to hike without clothes on.
Oh. Okay, so probably not Europe.
You know what? I'm gonna just full plunge and say Sweden.
Not far off, but no.
Norway?
Norway and Finland are the two that I heard, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of those.
Oh.
It is Switzerland.
Oh,
Switzerland. Ah, man, I was
Okay,
bouncing
that's that.
between them.
that actually makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of hiking in Switzerland.
So apparently, like Swiss and German like hikers would started traveling naked at some point, and like the local law enforcement caught wind of this, and they're like, "Hey, it's still public indecency, even if you're out in the woods." And so now there's $100 fine for walking naked in the woods if you're
So
caught.
is there a reason they started hiking naked, or they just
I
decided
don't know.
it's nice
This
and
doesn't-
breezy?
I
It's a bunch of nudists who were like, yeah, we ain't bothering nobody out here.
Meanwhile,
Apparently they
all of
were.
the bothered people out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone
Look,
was
there's,
bothered.
there's entire retreats of wealthy, predominantly Caucasian women who just go out into the middle of the woods and scream. They pay like $5,000 for scream retreats. So,
Oh, I thought you were saying they go out in the woods and just be naked, and I was gonna say like, where do I get a ticket?
no. No, no.
Oh no.
No. No, they scream. And it's really stupid.
Here's a fun one for y'all. Back in 1924, a monkey was convicted in South Bend of the crime of smoking a cigarette and sentenced to pay a $25 fine and the trial costs. What state is it?
No monkey in mine, or no monkey in my state will be smoking. That's what I think the vibe is. So I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Missouri.
Montana.
Indiana. I guess that
Well,
was not so
dang.
much a law, so much as just kind of a goofy. How do you convict a monkey? They're not citizens, are they?
This was in the 1920s?
1924, yeah.
Yeah. They
It
were
could
just
happen.
wildin'. Reason why they were called roaring.
I had an idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Up to the host to decide this, but towards like the end time of this one, what if we all made our own weird laws?
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Whichever one we like the most, we'll, I guess, I don't know, sponsor for our listeners to make petitions out of.
Huh?
I don't know.
I have no
Or we can
idea
just
what
send
just
them-
happened.
We can just sentence them to 2 years in prison.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I do
I
have
like it.
I do have one last funny weird law-ish thing to share if
Okay.
nobody else does.
I have another one, but you go.
Okay. Um, you must be permitted, like, purchase a permit to walk barefoot, depending on which city you are in what state.
Hmm. Gonna say. Oh, that's so tough. Virginia.
No, funny enough.
South Carolina.
No.
Oh.
I feel like it's either got to be California or Colorado.
Neither. That
No.
is our home state, baby.
What?
That is
Really?
a Texan thing.
What?
You have to have a
Yeah.
permit to walk barefoot in Texas?
Depending on the city that you are in, and they don't have a set permit price, so they can cost as little as $5 and then can also be, it can be straight up illegal.
The great
Wow.
state of Texas in one of the great cities. Do you
Hopefully
have a
not
permit
anywhere.
for barefoot walking? No. $5 billion fuck.
Hopefully not anywhere
Lord.
near me, because I'd be walking barefoot all the time, bro.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if
you
you're
could
in your
walk
own house,
in your
it's
own
fine.
space barefoot, but we're talking about like walking around the
I walk
town
from my house to the mailbox barefoot all the
barefoot.
time.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Don't let the police catch.
I
Oh
I do that a lot in
no.
the summer too,
Yeah.
because I like to do this really awful thing of burning the soles of my feet off so that they callus, and then that way I can just walk on hot pavement.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And then your feet
that's
kind of
fun.
tingle afterwards. It like
Yep.
painfully. Yeah.
Well, so I used to lifeguard back in high school, and so like for a long time, I just had indestructible feet because I walked around in a water park barefoot all day, every day. Um, and then I kind of lost that, so I gotta keep up because otherwise I'll get baby feet.
Your feet done went soft, RJ.
Mm-hmm.
I have baby feet.
Baby feet.
Baby feet.
Jake,
Do,
what's
do,
it all?
do, do, do. Okay. In which European country is it illegal to have a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt on?
Oh,
I'm gonna say France for reasons.
I European country, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
uh, wow,
I'm gonna go
that's tough.
obscure and say Moldova.
No.
I'll say Belgium.
Uh, it is none of the above. It is Poland.
Oh,
Poland.
It is illegal to wear a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt in Poland because Winnie the Pooh does not wear pants and therefore is publicly indecent.
incredibly valid.
I just
That's
want to know
so funny.
whose overbearing mother decided that.
What about Mickey Mouse? I mean, is that
Well, he's
indecent?
wearing pants, so his genitals are covered.
But it's no shirt.
But he doesn't have genitals.
Well, neither does Winnie the Pooh, but apparently that makes him publicly indecent.
So wait, if
So-
I have a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt but add pants to him, is that okay?
I have no idea.
Gotta
Maybe.
give Winnie the Pooh some shorts.
Probably.
Some jean shorts. We're gonna give Winnie
Poland?
some jorts.
Poland, it's your turn. Let us know.
Poland. Poland, get back to us. Government of Poland.
Yeah,
She
if
would-
I put pants on
Prime
it, is that
Minister of
acceptable?
Poland, let us know. We know that you listen to us.
Yeah. Prime Minister or Poland, I don't know what government system they have. Anyway,
It's funny, they have a prime minister and a president.
this one is kind of funny to me. I think this will be the last one we do before we make up our own. Um, this one, I'm not going to make you guess, is from my home state, the one that I was born in, Minnesota. Apparently, it is illegal for a person to cross state lines with a duck on top of their head.
What?
What?
Yeah, you
Uh,
cannot you cannot legally cross in or out of Minnesota with a duck on your head.
Hunting season? Question mark?
It's duck
Drugs.
hunting season.
What?
Yes, let me walk across state lines with a duck on my head, just pumped full of illegal pickles.
and chewing gum.
Chewing gum to go to Singapore and pickles out
That
of
Tom
Connecticut.
Sawyer's at it again. Quick, sue another monkey.
Oh no.
The monkey's gonna jailbreak.
No.
Oh no.
That's bad.
All right, Hayden, since this was your idea, you get to make the first obscure law.
Ooh, I've been wanting to do this one. So, we shall make it illegal to not put shopping carts back up.
Oh.
See, that's not really obscure. That's just that should be a thing.
Well, I mean, in Singapore, they make it illegal to not flush public toilets, so, I mean...
Very true.
True.
That's fair.
And you can't run out of gas on the Autobahn.
In order to make it obscure, I'm going to say 5 years of imprisonment.
Ooh. Just
That's some intense jail
There's-
time.
there's no if, and, or but. If you don't return your cart and you're caught, 5 years in jail.
Yep.
Lord.
You'll never
You can't
make that
do this
mistake
one.
again.
Don't do
Imagine having, like, the person who parked next to you call the police because you, like, walked away from your cart at your car before, like, and then you come back to return and the police are on scene and you're like, what?
Oh no! Do the crime, you serve the time.
Yeah.
Time's up.
Time's up. That's it.
All right, I got one. If you guys don't have one,
Okay.
Go for it.
okay. It is illegal to feed a hippo exactly 7.5 dumplings, or from $5,000 to $2,000 fine.
Lovely. I
I
love this
wanna
law.
know,
I'm behind
so
it.
you have to feed them like 8 dumplings in order to be safe.
7 or 8, but 7.5, no.
Well, that makes sense. It's cruel to only give them half.
Right.
Makes sense.
Well, in which case, why wouldn't it be like 6.5? Or like just half a dumpling?
No, specifically 7.5. It's illegal. There's like a little bit of a threshold that you can like feed them in, and if you don't quite either meet it or cross over it, then it just kind of is like this weird in between,
Like,
and then the hippos rampage through the town and
Turn into
start
Godzilla.
devouring small children,
Not the small, children.
specifically the small ones.
Oh no.
All
Not the
right,
small
so
adults.
Riley, Jay, got it all?
what's the
it
law
is-
in Brunch land?
It is illegal to crab walk between 2 buildings while blowing a party favor after 7 p.m., punishable by death.
Oh,
Oh goodness! Oh my goodness!
you know,
Straight
if
up.
anyone breaks that law that is that specific, it has to be intentional. So at that point, valid.
Why did I imagine Logan Paul doing?
That sounds like something he'd do.
Just sniped from the rooftop.
Logan
It's just-
Pauls do not exist in Brunch land.
Federal agents just waiting at every alley for somebody to crab walk with party favors after a certain point in the night.
Oh
Sir, we've got one. Fire
Shot.
at will.
Shot.
Oh.
Riley, what you got?
no. I'm too left-brained for this.
Okay.
Everything that I'm thinking of is something that I would actually implement. Um.
What do you mean? I would actually implement mine too. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, mine
Yeah, same
are
with
like,
mine.
you know, it
Well,
is illegal on, threat of dissolute or like completely dissolving whatever company does this. If you design a product to fail, like Apple Lightning cords.
I like that a lot. What's the fine or punishment?
Your company will be dissolved.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that. Sorry.
Apple just vanishes off the face
Yeah,
of the planet.
Apple would be done. Like, period.
Disintegrated. Got snapped.
Sure, Microsoft at this point would be gone as well.
Like most major
There'd
companies
be a lot
would
of
be, I'm
places
sure.
that be gone.
Samsung probably.
I would
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
all
say
of them to
most cell
disappear.
phone
If you
companies.
don't make a superior product, you don't deserve to
Oh,
exist.
I'm not even talking about like Samsung phones, like Samsung appliances.
Samsung.
Samsung.
appliances. Dude, I've worked on so many of those, like in maintenance. It's just...
See, and the crux of the law is it has to be designed to fail outside of like, having safety failure points.
That'd kind of be a weird one because I could see. Like, see, I make products that eventually wear down, and the people that use those products, not all of them are very honest. They will come to us with, like, a product that is 15 years old or so and go, I just bought this, and I stuck it in the ground and it broke. I demand a free one.
But like, there are ways to tell,
Well, there's a difference between like items like durability and like planned obsolescence.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So now let's go around in circle and everyone take a vote for your favorite. It just can't be your own. So Aiden, you start.
Mine is definitely the crab walking with party favors.
Mine is also crab walking.
I think mine has to be crab walking as well.
Jay,
I,
you're the only
I
non.
really like Riley's company must be dissolved. If the product is designed to fail.
Cool. So it looks like Jay is the winner with no crab walking in an alley with party favors in your mouth after, what'd you say, 7?
After 7 p.m., punishable by death.
Punishable by death. Yeah. So there you have it.
Required.
It's a worldwide mandate. So watch yourself.
Check yourself after 7 p.m., everybody.
Check yourself
come
for
I will
join
be
us in
watching.
Brunch Land, everybody.
And do you have highlights from this?
I do.
Ooh. Give
good.
us the words, good sir.
These words brought you this wonderful and sweet podcast today. This brunch, if you will. Suspicious, Autobahn, crime, Bossing Say, Alabama, vehicles, wind toilet law, pickle smugglers, calluses, duck full of pickles, and crab walks in Brunchland. Have a good time, wherever you are.
Oh, happy
I thought you were
brunch.
I think you're going to finish that off.
Wherever you are.
Thank y'all for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed these random obscure laws. Join us next week, and we'll talk to y'all later. Happy brunch, y'all.
Happy
Happy
brunch.
brunch.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.